Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And like I mentioned last week, even though I did How to Train Your Dragon stuff, well, it was How to Train Your Dragon week, but it's animation month. So I thought this week I would start with Dreamworks. Now, Dreamworks, if I had to choose between Dreamworks and Disney movies, I couldn't tell you because they're both good. Dreamworks hasn't been around as long as Disney. They've only been making movies since 98, and they pretty much pride themselves on making one movie a year, I believe, which less than Disney, but yeah. Although I think they might have done two a few years, but that was before 2018, stuff like that. So for this week, for today's video, I thought I would discuss my 10 favorite DreamWorks movies. Now this is actually quite hard because DreamWorks doesn't. If I was doing Disney, which I might be in the future, it's going to be a lot harder because because Disney there's a lot of movies, but there's also the live action ones, which that'll probably be covered in a different video. DreamWorks doesn't have live action movies, but they do have animated movies, and like I said, this was hard to choose from because there's a lot of movies. I mean, there's the Shrek franchise, there's the Kung Fu Panda franchise, there's How to Train Your Dragon franchise, there's Madagascar franchise, there's some movies I haven't seen, which are some from the Shrek franchise. I haven't seen Kung Fu Panda 3. I haven't seen Boss Baby or Trolls or Home. Some of them I don't want to see just because. I've seen Ants. I haven't seen Sinbad and whatever that movie is. Ants, I don't really like. Alright, so, and I've picked 10 movies I have, and basically, my 10 to 5, most of them are movies that I have seen, that I enjoyed, but either I haven't seen them in a long time, because of certain reasons that I will go over, or I just like a movie better than that. Alright, let's get into this. Number 10 on my list, my 10th favorite movie is Turbo. This movie came out in 2012. I know because I was 8. And like I mentioned, I think it was my first How to Train Your Dragon video. I mentioned that my school, we used to always, I think it was Christmas and the last day of school, we would go to a movie. So for Christmas, the first bit, it would be grades kindergarten to grade 3, and then 4 to 6. So kindergarten, grade 3, I think everybody watched the same movie. We watched Turbo. And this was either the summer or the Christmas because that same year we watched Rise of the Guardians. And Turbo, if you guys haven't seen it, is a movie about a snail who has a dream racer who, he seems like a great guy, but by the end of the movie he's not really. And he wants to be a racer, and then after being somehow getting into a car's engine, he gets these superpowers that make him super fast, hence the name Turbo. Ends up racing, his shell cracks at the end of the race, but he still ends up winning. And it's actually a pretty good movie. But it's a good movie, but the reason that this one is number 10 is because I've only seen it twice. And that was in the 3rd and 4th grade. Again, 3rd grade in the theater, 4th grade on the plane at Disneyland, but I didn't have earbuds, so I couldn't hear it. Number 9 is The Croods. And you might be thinking, okay, why is this on your list? It's prehistory which doesn't agree with your religion. Yes, I know that, I know that, which is fine. Yes, I saw this movie actually with my cousins. I have some really young cousins just because my aunt and uncle foster care, so they have kids that are younger. So, of course, it's a kids' movie, so I watched it with them. First time seeing it. My sister has seen it a few times because when in elementary school, we sometimes watch movies at lunch, and that was one movie she watched. So, yeah, I've only seen this movie once. And again, the science and history behind it doesn't really agree with my religion, but the reason it's on my list is because it's about a family sticking together through that catastrophical things, like the world ending, I guess. And again, number 9, I haven't seen it in a long time. I've only seen it once. So technically, this would be number 10, but I like the theme better than um, Turbo. Number 8 is the Penguins of Madagascar. Not the TV show. I've never seen the TV show. The movie. I like Madagascar movies. They're good. My sister doesn't really like the third one. I kind of like the third one. Penguins of Madagascar, I find it better just because it's secret agent and spy stuff. And I find that the jokes in Madagascar can be a little racy, and adult stuff. So, and I actually have this movie in my cupboard. I didn't bring the movies in, but yeah. So Penguins of Madagascar, pretty much, they're penguins, but they're secret agents, and they try to stop this octopus that wants to ruin all the cuteness and turn all the penguins into monsters. And they do eventually. And it's a pretty good movie. Reason it's number 8. Again, I do have it in my shelf, but I don't watch it that often. It's one of my favorites, but it's not. It's number 10. It's on my top 10. What more do you want? It's just not. It's just lower down because I have other favorites. All right, number 7. Wait, did I miss 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Never mind. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 7. Yeah, 10, 9. Yes, number 7. Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron. Believe it or not, this is actually a Dreamworks movie. Some people get confused with Disney. Pretty much, it's the story of a wild horse that gets captured, taken away from his herd, and doesn't want to be tamed, and he doesn't get tamed. He does let Little Creek ride him, though, to save both of them, though. But other than that, he doesn't let anyone ride him. That's why I hate the TV show. So again, I like the fact that there are humans and they are talking. And the only horse that talks is Spirit, but that's because he's telling the story. Otherwise, he doesn't talk. It's true to actual animal fashion. Unless it's an anime movie based on animals, then they kind of have to talk. This one is based on animals, but they don't talk. But the horses do have feelings and emotions, and you can see that to their faces, their movement, and all that, which is good. And it does kind of show a bit of this conflict between the U.S. Army and the First Nations. But again, the reason it's number 7 is because this is actually one of 2 Dreamworks movies that I have on VHS, the other one being Shrek. And we used to have a VHS machine, but it broke, so we haven't seen any of the movies that we have on VHS in like a year. So that's partially why this is on my list, because I can't watch it, but it's still a good movie. Alright. Number 6 is Joseph, King of Dreams. Again, an underrated Dreamworks movie. 2000. And it follows the biblical story of Joseph, which is probably why it's number 6, but it does have a creative license, so it is completely different. And it's musical. And the songs are great. Again, it is stretched a bit just because of the creative license. But it's still a good movie, it's a good movie. One of my favorites, but not my absolute favorite. And number 5, surprise, surprise, Prince of Egypt. This is 1998, and it actually follows the story of Moses. Now, in the Bible, if you remember, Genesis is the story of Joseph, and Moses is in Exodus, which is after Genesis. And Levi, who is Joseph's brother, is actually, I think, Moses' grandfather or great-grandfather, one of the two. So, this was actually one of DreamWorks' first movies, the first one being Ants. Like, this was, released the same year. It is, again, creative licensing, but they did explore the historical stuff and got, all the costumes right. And the words in the last song may be a little different, but yes. And Um, and DreamWorks just had that biblical spree for those two movies. And the reason I'm here is because, again, it's a biblical story. I like biblical stories, and I wish that they could have done more, like maybe on David or Joshua or some other Old Testament characters. That would have been, why, come on, DreamWorks, this could be a great series. Alright, number 4, Rise of the Guardians. Now, why is this number 4? Well, the bottom it says from the Curious of How to Train Your Dragon, so that's when you know it's a good movie. Unless you don't like How to Train Your Dragon, then it might not be a good movie for you. But pretty much, again, like I said, I saw this in theaters in the 3rd grade. This movie follows the journey of your favorite holiday icons and childhood, I don't know what you call them, Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, Sandman, and Jack Frost, which I don't actually believe in. I stopped believing in Santa Claus when I was 8, when I was good and I didn't get what I wanted. And I never really believed in the Easter Bunny. Tooth Fairy, I actually stopped believing in the Tooth Fairy because I woke up in the middle of the night with my parents putting money under my pillow. Sandman, I didn't even know he existed until I watched, like, the Santa Claus 2, I think, in the 3rd grade. Jack Frost, I know who he is, but I also know that that's not, he doesn't do that. That's the winter and maybe me on the bus window. But it is a pretty good story, and I like, Jack's character. And, my sister, when we watched it, we started a Dreamworks marathon, we never finished it, but I think Rise of the Guardians was the 2nd movie we watched? 4th, it was 4th. Yeah. It was the 4th movie we watched, in our Dreamworks marathon. And my sister actually found a, connection to the Bible in it, or Christianity in it, so I will be covering that in tomorrow's video. And again, if you don't like my Christian, well, you know that I'm Christian, I've said that on this channel, but, and there will be some videos where I'm relating these things to Christianity. I recently did a video on if Heartland should be a Christian show, so, you don't have to watch those videos if you don't want to, but, and I'm not trying to force my religion on you, I'm just saying that I find these things in videos. I find them all the time in movies because I've been exposed to it. I'm Christian, so I find these things in movies that maybe you don't. And again, this channel is all built on my opinions, so if you want them, if you don't agree with my opinion, that's fine. Okay, and back to topic. Yes, again, Rise of the Guardians. It's number 4 because it is it's an underrated DreamWorks movie, but it's one of DreamWorks' best movies. I don't know why it doesn't just have more love or credit. Alright, so you may notice there's no How to Train Your Dragon on the list, but we're only on number 3. Number 3, How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. Nope, that's number 2. How to Train Your Dragon, just the first one. The reason it's number 3 is because it's a good movie. It's very, very good. It's not based on the books, but that's fine. Most movies based on books are usually completely different from the book or somewhat similar with different aspects, but it's still good. But the reason it's number 3 is because it's good. But the next two, How to Train Your Dragon 2 and The Hidden World, they got better, which kind of left the first one in the lurch, although it is my sister's favorite. So, again, the reason it's number 3 is because it's good, but in my opinion, I like the other 2 better, which is weird because usually in, like, sequels and trilogies and stuff like that, they get worse with time. This one gets better. So I'm putting it at number 3 just because it's really, really good. You should see it if you haven't. And the other 2 are good too, and I like the themes that it comes with for all 3, even in the books. Alright, number 2, like I said, is How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. Reason it's number 2 is, like I said, and I will reveal number 1 after some honorable mentions. This one, the themes are a little out of place from the other two, and the ending, oh, if you didn't cry in the ending, there is something wrong with you, okay? The ending is so good and so powerful. And Hiccup and Astrid's relationship in that is so great. And the fact that Hiccup, as you saw in the other two movies, has been trying to convince the world that there is nothing wrong with dragons, we just misunderstand them. And once we gain their loyalty and treat them the way they should be, the dragons can actually be very good creatures. Like he says, I think he says it to Aerith, once you gain his loyalty, there is nothing he won't do for you. Which should be the way the world is, but it's not. I'm sorry. And again, like I said, the themes, and he does eventually decide, but by the third movie, Hiccup knows that he can't, as his father said in the second movie, some minds won't be changed. So he makes the hard decision to let the dragons go into the hidden world. And he does say that until the world is ready for them, they're going to stay there, because even if they were here, even if I try to convince everyone dragons are good, there will always be that one person that will try and destroy the dragons. Now, actually, I've only cried in 2 How to Train Your Dragon movies. The second one and the third one because of specific reasons. The first one, you don't cry in because of how good it is. A movie doesn't have to be, you don't have to cry in a movie to make it good. It's still good to cry. It's good if you don't cry, but yeah. And I did cry in the first book, but it's kind of pathetic. I don't want to talk about that. Alright. Alright. Before I pick my number 1 pick, honorable mentions. I'm going to do this like watchmojo.com. Alright, some honorable mentions. Kung Fu Panda 2, Madagascar 1, 2, and 3, Over the Hedge. Why didn't I put that on my list? I like that movie. I don't know why that's not on my list. I should put that on my list, but I didn't. Over the Hedge, that's it. Alright. Number 1 pick, surprise, surprise, I said my How to Train Your Dragon movies were in the top 3, and I only mentioned 2. So which was my favorite? How to Train Your Dragon 2. Why? It's weird. My sister liked the first movie, and then we both kind of like the third movie as our second. The second movie is actually her least favorite, just because she doesn't like the fact that Stoic dies. I saw this movie in the 4th grade, and it was pretty good. Again, I was 9, so I kind of didn't really understand what was going on. Yeah, but this movie is my favorite Dreamworks movie because I like the theme of growing up and having to overcome these things in life, and the fact that it's just the best. It's the best How to Train Your Dragon movie. Yes, the first one and the third one are good, but the second one is the best. The second one, the theme is pretty much it's growing up, taking on that your responsibility in life, but also working as a team, and like I said, not giving up on one another and not giving up on yourself. There's a lot of themes in that. It's also going against the laws of nature. The laws of nature in the first movie say that dragons and humans have to be enemies. In the second movie, Drago says that dragons and humans will always be enemies, but if you have control of dragons, you can have control over the humans, and you can have control over the world. And the laws of Hiccup says no, and he again tries to convince it. Yes, there's that sad moment, but there's sad moments, there's funny moments, there's happy moments. It's the best How to Train Your Dragon movie. Alright, so thank you for watching, and again, like I said, tomorrow's video is the spiritual side of The Rise of the Guardians. And then I'm going to get into the Dreamworks theory that I came up with. And then the biblical side of Dreamworks. So this week I could technically say is Dreamworks and the Bible, I guess. Dreamworks and biblical DreamWorks, even though that's past. Alright, so be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, comment down below what your favorite DreamWorks movie is. Hit the notification bell, and I will see you tomorrow.